which I really needed. I just was kind of in go mode yesterday, trying to reset from traveling and Christmas and do laundry and work on catching up on work stuff, and I don't know, I crashed hard at the end of the night. I kind of just was struggling emotionally, just this feeling of needing to cry, but also sort of a feeling of exhaustion. But I'm recognizing that there's just so much to process. I have been on a really intense streak for a while, and if I try to look at it from that lens, it gets overwhelming. But from the lens of just transformation and the way I'm living my life, it's also motivating. But there's a lot of pieces. So like this morning, what's coming up for me is just trying to process having spent time in the Western medicine world with being at the hospital and with my grandma, and that a lot of what I'm studying and learning is energy medicine and more holistic approaches. And so I think the weight of generational alchemy, let's say, is somewhat what I'm feeling. Is, I don't know if it's pressure as much as just motivation and an intensity, an amplified intensity to pursue this path, and seeing how I have been for like most of my life, is just recognizing that the wounded healer becomes the healer, becomes the shaman. So all of the things that I've struggled with in my body, in my mind, in my spirit, I have gained these tools and pursued the life that I now am living. And there's so much more I want to learn and do, and I think it's a bit heavy to process right now, just recognizing crazy math equations happening in hospitals. You have all these conditions, all these machines and lenses for reading health, all of these medications, and all of these potential side effects from everything. And then you just start layering these into infinite numbers of relationships, and how could you possibly know what that's going to do to anybody? It's so complicated. So in some sense, it's like I can honor that this is really complex stuff, and then how that's resonating in my body is just wanting to strip it all down to something much simpler, which I guess is really the holistic approach. And in some ways, what sound healing does. Sound healing doesn't need to get into the complexities, because it has its own complexity, especially this holographic sound healing. It's recognizing how sound and geometry work together, and this higher intelligence, and how it can sort out the complexity, not me trying to add all of these things. And I don't know, is this the wave of the future? Is this the wave of something we all know? I mean, in the spirit of simplicity, don't most of us love music? Isn't there something about music and sound that resonates? A screeching, piercing sound startles and rattles. We all feel something in our body, and you get into a different song, like a lullaby, and there's a soothing feeling. It's a sleepy, tired feeling that comes over us, or something that's got a really good beat. You feel it. You kind of want to move. It's like these things just kind of have a natural relationship, and I guess that's part of the pursuit, is the natural relationship, the intelligence and gnosis behind something simpler. I don't know, just some thoughts this morning as I'm recognizing the need for time to process, that I did say out loud multiple times yesterday that I needed rest, and the day before, and I didn't honor it until it was 8 or 9 o'clock at night trying to watch a movie, and I couldn't even watch it. I was falling asleep. I was just feeling grief. I just had to go put myself to bed. I'm still waking up with kind of that recognition of needing to slow down, honor what my body needs. So the sauna is a good start. Saying out loud some of the things I don't necessarily want to say out loud, because I'm aware of the potential for criticism and, my lack of knowledge in the Western world. I just know what I experienced, what I saw, and the extreme complexity of that many parts and pieces moving, and how could anyone ever possibly know what it's doing? Repercussions. Move the needle one way for this thing, and it moves this way for the other. So now we gotta go on this one. Oh, now this one's out of control. Oh, now we have a new thing. And my mind immediately goes to ecosystems and permaculture, and are we listening? Are we listening to the natural process of things, to nature's intelligence? It just makes me feel that much more drawn to plant medicines and herbology, and a very serious responsibility to bring that knowledge to the forefront of the way I live my life. For that to be part of my mission, of what I pass along. It is something that was so normal not very long ago. And it's so available. So, deep thoughts from the sauna this morning, day 33, halfway through this living ceremony. Although I think we all understand at this point that ceremony is a way of living, and I don't think that I will hit day 63 and go, oh, ceremony's over. I'm not going to live in ceremony anymore. But it's been quite a journey. I don't know what else is in store for me in this process, and what is in store for me in recording it. I will give myself some credit for showing up. That was another thing that was coming up this morning, was beauty. Showing up and recognizing beauty isn't just a painted face trying to look some kind of way. Beauty is in the unique, raw vulnerability of telling the truth. become available to new truths. And those are the whispers. And do you choose to listen to the whisper of God or something else? The judge, the critic. I remember thinking at one point that anybody who had a skill that they were passionate about for anything suddenly just had this beautiful attraction and allurement, because passion and commitment, the spark that comes from pouring yourself into something and let it pour into you is beautiful. So maybe that's something to influence my navigating heavy emotions, is remembering I'm on the beauty path now, and beauty is so available. So in this moment, I see the beauty of a beautiful sky after a gray day yesterday of rain, and little bits of green popping through the dirt, little bits of moss growing on the path that I was hoping moss would grow, and the birds listening in the sun as it touches their wings as they're flying in groups, flocks, I don't know what they're called, and landing on trees. And now it looks like the tree has leaves, but really it's birds. That's beautiful. Day 2 on the bike. Got it done. I was yawning so much. Which yawning is a form of release.